All right, the LA Chargers make a strategic move that I love. If you're new to the channel, this channel is all about the LA Chargers, and we're Detroit Lions fans, but we are following Jim Harbaugh and excited to see what he does. But right now, the offseason is all about Joe Ortiz. Of course, Jim Harbaugh's involved, but Joe Ortiz did a strategic move that's like, that's what the Chargers have to do. And before we get into that, just come to the comments on this channel. We appreciate everybody that's commented. We read them all, may not be able to respond to them all, but it's funny because people are like, all right, Telesco was stubborn. That's the word that kind of comes up more and more. It's like the roster is built how I want it. It's good enough. It was always good enough, and it wasn't good enough, right? One star player goes down, then you're really in trouble. So that's one comment that kind of keeps coming up. And then another thing is the Keenan Allen trade. I think people are more coming around to it just because they see both sides. Keenan Allen was like, I'm not going to take a pay cut. I want to make what I want to make, and I deserve to. I had my best season last year, a really good season last year. And if you're the Chargers, you're like, man, you're older. We're trying to turn the page on this whole franchise. We've got our quarterback. We've got a good coach, but we have to get other pieces. The cap has to be there. So I kind of see both sides. You wish you would have got more for him, but at the same time, he's 32. He is injury plagued a little bit. And so that's just it. It's time to move on. And you just move on. And the NFL is crazy like that. And he could go on and have a crazy good year and then just have one good year and then no good years. Or he could have, he could not be good. You just don't know what's going to happen. But for the Chargers, it's time to move on, 4th round pick, and see what happens. So here's what they did that was strategic that I really love. And they went out and got Christian Fulton and a 1-year deal for this corner. Now, why is this strategic? Well, it's strategic because let's look at it here. It's a 1-year deal. Fulton wanted to set himself up for a big payday, but didn't happen. He went through his rookie contract, and now he was looking for a big payday, didn't get it. So he opted for a 1-year deal. And this way, he's believing, hey, I can do another contract type year and go for a big payday. He's 25 years old, and he showed a glimpse of his potential when he held George Pickens to 2 catches for -1 yards last season. Here's why it's strategic. He played 4 years with the Titans and missed 23 games. But when healthy, he's a willing tackler against the run. He's versatile. He can play nickel. He can play outside corner spots. So what you've just done, if you're the Chargers, is you went out and got a guy that's been injured in the past. And so you get him for cheaper. You get him on the 1-year deal. And so instead of paying a guy a five-year, $100 million contract to be a corner or be on your team as a corner, now what you've done is you got a guy in a 1-year deal. So that's another contract. So he's playing for that big deal, and you get him for cheaper, and he's got the potential and shows that he's a really good player. He was selected in the 2nd round out of LSU. Man, that LSU team, crazy. On the opposite side of Derek Stingley in 2019, he's appeared in 42 games, 37 starts. Okay, so it's not like he's just chilling, not playing special teams. When he's healthy, he's in there. 37 starts. The Chargers secondary was the defense's Achilles heel last season. The starting cornerback position opposite of Asante Samuel Jr. was somewhat of a revolving door. Yes. Here is why this is so strategic, is because we've seen it work with the Detroit Lions. This is what they exactly did when Brad Holmes got there. Brad Holmes, the GM of the Detroit Lions, starts off, he's got nothing. It's kind of like this situation, right? Kind of in a weird way, somewhat similar, but it's a lot different as well. But just where you're like, okay, we need to get some cheap contracts in here, and we need to get good players, guys that are hungry. How do you do that? And Brad Holmes did this exact thing. He took chances, 1-year deals with guys that were injured. And the reason that had injury passed, because you can get them for cheaper. They're looking to prove something, and they just fit right now what you're doing. It allows you for flexibility in years to come. You're not having to worry about, oh man, should we go get this guy? Is he going to fit? We don't know what exactly we want. We want to get to the draft. That is what the Chargers are thinking. And that's what the Lions were thinking in that first year. And it really sets your team up because now you get to learn about this guy. Is he great? Is he a good guy in the locker room? Cool. Give him another contract next year. You get to learn about them before giving them anybody big contracts. So the 1-year deal is perfect. And then if it doesn't work, see ya. Didn't work, keeps us flexible, and then they can move on to something different. So the Chargers aren't done. Joe Ortiz came out and said that we're not done. We're wide open to any other moves as we get closer to the draft. And then also as they get into the draft, they're able to trade up, down. They can go any position. The good news is they can go in any direction. The bad news is they're going to go in any direction because they need almost everything. But remember what's going to happen. Overnight, this team is better just because of the coach, the coaching staff. So that's positive number one. Positive number two, you've got the quarterback. So now let's keep our flexibility while getting guys that are super hungry. And then after the draft, we can really judge and see where the Chargers are going to be. But because of the coach and the quarterback, it allows you this flexibility to like, all right, let's see what we can do. So then as you look at the draft, we're going to PFF's mock draft simulator. I really like this. If you pay for this, you can get kind of more. So I got into some more, settings and some things you can do. So let's take a look at it. Start the draft here. So if you look at who went in the top 4, Caleb Williams, Drake May, Marvin Harrison was taken, Joe Alt. Oh, geez. So this gets a little wild, but the Patriots don't get a quarterback. I find that really hard to believe that they wouldn't get a quarterback, but it almost doesn't change anything because Joe Alt goes there. Okay, fine. But Marvin Harrison is that good, though, by the way, that something could happen there. So when you look at if that's how it goes, all right, Malik Neighbors, what up? I mean, seriously, I'm just taking Malik Neighbors. Easy. Let me know your thoughts as we do this in the comments. You've got a guy. So JJ McCarthy is the guy that you guys just have to absolutely keep your eye on because if he rises in the draft board like everybody thinks he can, oh jeez, I only did a one round. Okay. if he goes in the draft like he should, then what we're looking at, let's do 3 rounds. Let's take this down a little bit. Settle this down. I like to do PFF but like the public as well. A little bit more. Care for positional value, not as much. Draft needs, not as much. Randomness, not too much. Let's enter the draft and see what we got. Oh, I better pick a team. Chargers. Okay, here we go. Caleb Williams, Drake May, Marvin Harrison again. Joe Alt. Okay, fine. I still don't think that's the way it's going to go, but I'll do it. Malik Neighbors is who the Chargers are going to take at 5. And what I was saying was JJ McCarthy is somebody that if teams love him, that's great for the Chargers. Teams are going to trade up. Things are going to happen. Things are going to get weird. That top of the draft is going to get messy, and that's when Chargers can get offers to move back. I think it's perfect. Okay, look at some of the options here. Sandra still. I was hoping that there'd be an offensive lineman, one of the good offensive linemen still hanging around. I'm not seeing them. Where? Come on. So in this situation, I think, gosh, another wide receiver. I hate doing that. I really do. I'm going to go corner. TJ Tampa, Iowa State. Corner and wide receiver is just the two kind of chess pieces when it comes to drafting because you think about it, all the really good, there's better wide receivers coming out than there is corners. And it's been like that for a while. So that it's just a disparity that's happening where it's hard to cover these guys. It's hard to find the guys to cover the wide receivers. So if you can get your hands on a corner early in the draft, I think you got to do it. Okay. 3rd round pick, Chris Jenkins. Harbaugh loves him. I can't wait to see how many Michigan guys that he grabs, because Chris Jenkins won his enthusiasm unknown to mankind award. Just there's so many guys. There's a record number of Michigan guys that did their pro day of like 18 or something like that. So I know he's going to take them late. He's going to take Michigan guys late in the draft for sure, just because he knows them well. So when there's a Michigan guy sitting there in the 6th round, he's going to be, are you kidding me? Take him. So Chris Jenkins, I mean, man, he's really good. Defensive lineman. Junior Colson, though, oh my goodness. Can't go wrong. Pick your Michigan guy. And this is what Harbaugh's going to have to have. He's going to be like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I think it's just Junior Colson is just a premier linebacker that I loved since the day he arrived at Michigan. We're going to take him in the 3rd round. Oh my gosh. Love that. Okay, so let's kind of see how this pans out. Let's fast forward just a little bit and let me know your thoughts in the comments. We'll see how this draft grades. Malik Neighbors A+. So you look, I mean, this is really what you could walk away with. Malik Neighbors, a top end corner from Iowa State, and TJ Tampa. And I mean, in the 3rd round, you get, I mean, I'm a Michigan fan, so like, you know, I know, calm down, but I would take him all day. The best linebacker in the draft. So you get arguably the best receiver, possibly one of the best corners, and the best linebacker. Like, that's what this draft could be, and that's what's exciting if you're a Chargers fan. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Excited to see what the draft that's it for me, is the draft, because up until this point, it's been like, man, tough decisions. We kept 2 out of the 4. Actually, we kept 2 out of the 5. Austin Eckler, see ya. You know, we got rid of a couple other guys, but we kept Mack, we kept Bosa, Keenan Allen. Sorry, but let's see what happens in the draft. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you